Hi guys, Hound's Armory here, and today we're at a little bit of a wider angle because we are talking about my current loadout. This video is up to date as of summer of 2020 during the plague, so this current setup hasn't been play tested yet. But that being said, let's start with the basics. Alright, so the basics. What am I wearing? To start, I'm just wearing some good old running shoes. I like running shoes rather than sandals, boots, whatever. Crocs, if you're gonna wear those, please don't. I like running shoes because, well, I can run. They give good arch, ankle, knee support, as well as being closed-toed to protect your feet. Of course, please wear socks because your shoes will last longer, you'll be more comfortable, and you won't smell as bad. Further up from that, I'm wearing hiking shorts. Now, I usually wear either hiking shorts or hiking pants rather than jeans or sweatpants or gym shorts, because I find that most hiking pants, hiking shorts are meant to be moved in more, so they're a little more forgiving than such as like jeans, but they also are more durable and stay in place better and hold your stuff in place better than gym shorts or sweatpants. They also tend to have more pockets. I think this pair of shorts has something like 9 or 10 pockets, which is kind of crazy. Further up, I'm wearing a belt to hold up my shorts. If I'm wearing pants, I wear a belt to hold up my pants. Because the last thing you want is to be looking all cool, playing the game, with all decked out in your gear, and your pants to fall down. That's not fun for anyone. I'm then wearing a long sleeve, tech material workout shirt. I like these more than a regular t-shirt because they tend to wick sweat better and smell, not smell as bad. Of course, you're not going to smell, perfect when you're running around in the sun all day, but you tend to not get so smelly wearing a shirt that's meant to be worked out and moved in. I like long sleeve rather than short sleeve because it gives a little more protection to your arms if you're running through bushes, running through trees. You get a few less scrapes this way. And also, I just think long sleeve shirts are super comfortable. Last thing about my shirt is it is tucked in. Of course, this is kind of a weird thing, shorts, long sleeve shirt tucked in looks weird. But first of all, when you're all geared up, you don't see the fact that your shirt's tucked in and you don't have the tail of your shirt kind of poking out your belt, maybe getting in the way of drawing a sidearm or getting stuff all stuck in it. Overall, I just think tucking your shirt in keeps yourself a little more contained and a little more slicker, and it doesn't get in the way of the rest of your gear. All that being said, let's jump on into the first line gear. So, first line gear, what does this mean? To me, it means my belt setup and basically what I want to always have on me. So let's just start going around. I have two blaster parts. They're small size holsters holding two Sweet Revenges for the moment. We'll talk about this more in a second. I then have a pouch for my Leatherman, my multi-tool, which I always have on me because it's a great little tool to fix loose screws, things that are, basically a quick, easy repair blaster tool, and it's a great thing to have on you. I then have a admin pouch here, which is where when I'm playing, I'll put my phone, my headphones, my keys, my wallet, just to keep it secure and not in my pockets, because I find that when I do have things in my pockets, they tend to fly away. Of course, if you have zippered pockets, this isn't so much of a problem. Right now I do have my gloves in it, which these are just a pair of hardware store fingerless gloves. They're a little torn up because I've had them about a year now. I would highly suggest wearing gloves of some sort, especially for a game like HvZ where you're going to be running a lot, maybe jumping through bushes, jumping over walls. Of course, be safe. But I find a good pair of gloves just helps with that a little bit. And I, at least for summer games, go with fingerless just because it gives me a little extra dexterity. For things like undoing thumb screws to put in a fresh battery, finding switches on my blasters, what have you. And finally, around the side here, I currently have a Blaster Parts foldable dump pouch. Mostly used for carrying darts and for dart sweep, though in a pinch I will drop mags in there during reloads. But I am obsessed with the idea of constantly topping up all of my magazines, all of my blasters during HvZs. Especially when I went to Indoor 2019, I was so scared of running out of ammo. Whenever I couldn't see a zombie, I was reloading everything. So here's the dump pouch. I also have two things up by my head. I have got a baseball cap, which just has a couple patches on there, of course the auxiliary patch, to keep sun off my face and to keep sun glare out of my eyes so I can see better, and you know, keep sun off my face. Of course, wear sunscreen if you're playing outside. And then secondly, I have this buff around my neck. This is great and almost necessary for me because I love to run, I love to play hard, and I get sweaty. This lets me wipe down my face really quickly, as well as give me a little bit of neck protection when I've got my blaster slung. Overall, again, another essential piece of equipment. One more thing which I forgot to grab are my eye pro. Always wear eye pro. Even if the event you're going to says they're optional, they're not. Even if it's a stock war, wear eye pro. You only get two and you really don't want to live with one, so please protect your eyes and wear eye protection. All that being said, let's look at the full loadout now. So guys, this is my full HvZ and Nerf War loadout. Let's start from the bottom again, just to clear up a couple changes I made. I swapped out one Sweet Revenge for my Mega Hammer Shot on my left. This is where I tend to keep this, especially for HvZs, especially if I'm not running a Master Key or running my Alpha Trooper, because it lets me keep my primary on target and pull a possible super zombie killing ammo type very easily. The Sweet Revenge that was there, I moved to my back holster that's here on my vest. This is a new addition to this loadout that I haven't really tried much with. But recently I've been looking into getting some flywheel sidearms. So to replace this, this Sweet Revenge, and my thought there became, I never want to go into an HvZ without a hammer shot because they're so reliable and so easy to use in that situation. They're almost a perfect HvZ blaster. I do say almost, they of course have their problems. And so I was trying to figure out ways to keep a hammer shot on me if I was running a Mega Hammer Shot, like with my Alpha Trooper, and a flywheel sidearm, which there'll be videos on those once I get them up and running. And so I pulled just a little holster I had and threw it under my camelback, and it's working okay. That out of the way, let's go over this whole loadout. Of course, I'm currently primarying my Strifle Mark II, which I do have my own video on it, so if you have any questions about this, I'll try to put the video up in the card, and there will at least be a link in the description below. That being said, it is on a 2-point sling that I typically run just in a 1-point configuration here off the back, but I can put it on a 2-point setup and just throw it behind me to free myself up to do some other things. So with the vest, I've got 4 18-round, these are the knockoff 18-round magazines you can get off NF Strike, and you might have seen this in some of my early videos, but they all have these magazine bands on them that have my name and the auxiliary logo on them. These are awesome. Of course, I customized them personally to have my name and the aux logo on it, but I haven't seen anyone else using these. I'm gonna put a link to the Thingiverse page with them below. I can't remember who designed them, but they're just an awesome little cosmetic piece for a 18-round magazine. I think they will fit on like 12 rounders too. That just make your magazine stand out more, and luckily and this has happened to me at a war, it's very easy to tell which ones are mine and which ones aren't. Because when I first got these magazines, I did write my name on the bottom of a Sharpie, but that very quickly wore off. This is never gonna wear off. It might crack, it might chip, but because I've tacked it on with super glue just in a couple places, some part of it will stay on the magazine. So even if I end up chucking this across the field, it should be easy for me to recognize, oh, that's my mag, I can go get it from whoever picked it up. So I've got 4 of those on my front. Here are my eye protection. They're just a nice, comfortable pair of work glasses. I've got a little admin pouch up here where I keep a pen, a notebook, and sometimes a map for an HvZ and a little first aid kit, as well as having my Pound Armories patch on there. And in this little pouch here, I usually keep my spare lipo for my primary. Now, going around the back, I have a Camelback and 2 more magazines and my, I guess, tertiary sidearm. Of course, the Camelback is to stay hydrated. I usually have the tube coming down my left side here. I just have it tucked out of the way because I'm not going to wars right now. I don't really need my Camelback fully functional. I'm gonna put this down so I can talk better. So yes, Camelback, stay hydrated. Again, if you're going to a war, drink water. Don't drink Powerade, Gatorade, soda. Drink water. You will stay hydrated better than anything else. You'll stay healthy. And then the next thing is I have 2 magazines over here. Now my original heavier HvZ loadout, and I would categorize this as a heavier loadout. We'll talk about categorizing my loadout in a minute. The reason I've got 2 on my back and 4 on my front instead of just 6 across my front is I learned a lot from End War 2019, where I did run 6 magazines across my chest, and to be honest, I never touched all 6 in an engagement, even at that massive HvZ game, even in the last mission when I was holding the rear guard and just dumping darts into the horde. I went in to drop my stuff and I was like, oh, these 2 magazines haven't been touched. And that whole weekend I felt like I was very front heavy and being pulled forward. So I looked at ways I could readjust, and I thought putting just 2 of my magazines on my back so they're still accessible by me and even more accessible for my squad. If someone's running low, they can grab one off my back. I thought that would have way more utility. And they're in a spot and in an orientation, I know exactly which way to grab them and put them in my blaster if I do need them to reload myself. Right now I have one of the injection molded elastic quick mags, and I don't love it. It's not the most secure thing. Of course, on my front here I'm using the 3D printed foam blast design, which are amazing when mounted this way. This one on my back isn't great, but it's better than these foam blast ones. I want to try with a couple more designs just to see if I can hit that sweet spot that's good and secure but still retrievable. So that's that. And of course I can rotate magazines forward or backwards through that. That being said, that's my loadout. Now let's talk about how I would categorize this. So, what is this loadout built for, and how would I categorize it? This loadout is built for both HvZs and Nerf wars, though primary HvZs, because that's what I like to play most. Using the correct categorizations and play types that Captain Xavier has put forward for artillery use, I would call this a medium or heavy skirmisher loadout. I love playing Hunter. I love taking pressure and putting it back onto the horde. I love making openings so other people can get missions done. And so that's how I built my loadout. I have a select fire, semi and full auto strife, that should be tuned up for about maximum HvZ performance. Again, I don't have a chronograph, so I'm not quite sure what it's hitting yet. I of course have hammer shots and sidearms out the wazoo for when that goes empty or malfunctions, because it will. And I have a good amount of sustainable firepower, so I can both hold a line very well and stay consistent, and flip this switch and start dumping darts into a horde to give area denial and fill a more heavy role. Now, of course, like I keep saying, I have to be able to run, and I can. The blaster parts holsters are great. With the 2 straps on your thigh and 1 on your belt, you cinch them down good, and with a little tweaking, granted, you can get them to stay right where they are no matter how long you run. And again, that's why a lot of my ammunition and weight is up on my chest, because that frees my legs to run and move. I can bend over, I can pick things up, I can dart sweep in the full loadout if I need to. I usually drop the primary and the vest to dart sweep, but I can do it, which is really important. That being said, if there are 2 things I want you to take away from this video, it's that don't copy my loadout. This is my loadout. It might not work for you. It might. Get some inspiration. Number 2 is, within that, be comfortable. Whether it's a war or an HvZ, whatever you wear, you're going to be wearing all day. And if it's not comfortable, if it's too hot, too cold, rubs you weird, too heavy on one side, you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to be miserable, you're not going to enjoy the game. And none of us want that. So put your loadout together. Like me, when I'm stuck inside and I can't go to wars, I'm messing with my loadout. I'm tweaking things, I'm adjusting where things are placed, how much I'm carrying. And you know, if you have a backyard, great, run a couple laps, see if anything falls out. That's the problem I'm having with this back mag holder. Is if I run too hard, the mags start to drop out. So that's a problem I'm trying to address. Try things out, figure out what works for you, and more than anything, have fun. This hobby's all about having fun and enjoying what you're doing. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, especially if you want to see more loadouts, more loadout advice. This is a part of the hobby that I love and am very interested in. That being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment, and thank you so much for watching.